Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi, taking care of business on Canada's podcast network. Joining me today is Pierre Cleroux, who is Vice President of Research and Chief Economist for BDC. Thanks for joining us today, Pierre.
Good afternoon.
Well, we have seen today that BDC has put out a report coinciding with Small Business Week across the country. And one of the key elements of this report is productivity, talking about productivity and its impact on small businesses in Canada. Can you tell me what that impact is and why productivity is so important?
As you know, Mario, the economy has been performing quite well, but we still have a lot of challenges. Inflation is high, the shortage of labor, disruption in the supply chain. All these challenges are difficult for small and mid-sized firms. And as a result, we did a study to look if what will be the number one factor that will help companies. And the factor that we have identified is productivity. Businesses who are more productive, or another way to say it, more efficient, they are performing better, and also they have an easier time to face these challenges.
And what are those major challenges that they face today?
Well, inflation is one of the biggest challenge. Inflation has a negative impact on business. It's increasing costs, reducing their profit, bring a lot of uncertainty because prices are changing very rapidly. The shortage of labor is another issue that is important. There's a million vacant jobs in Canada right now. So a lot of business have difficulties to recruit. And finally, the pandemic, it's almost over in Canada, but we're still having impact. For example, the supply chain is still an issue for most businesses.
Tell me how small businesses in this country can become more productive.
Well, the first step is to measure ourselves. And we just launched today a new tool that is very easy to use. It's free. It's on our website at bdc.ca. And by entering only three numbers, so your total revenue, profit, and payroll, you will be able to compare yourself with every company in your sector. So we have in this database about 1 million companies in Canada. So you can compare your company, the performance of your company, with everybody else in your own sector. So this is a very useful tool. It's the first step, is to see, let's say you're a champion. Well, that's great, and you can just have a glass of wine. If you are not a champion, if you're below the average, well, there's also some reading that we offer to bring people more, to make sure that people can actually take some action to increase their profitability.
Okay, and what else can they do?
Well, the second step is really to optimize our businesses, our processes. Excuse me. There's a lot of waste in our businesses, and waste. I'm not saying that in a negative way, but sometimes we overproduce. Sometimes we don't produce the most efficient way. Sometimes we have delay, or the quality is not the one it should be, and you have some recall. So the second step is really to look at how you can optimize what you're doing. And the third step is to invest in technology and automation. It makes a huge difference for business. Businesses who are the most productive in Canada are the ones who have been investing the most in technology and automation. And finally, is to keep going, to keep improving all the time, because improving our productivity is not a one-time deal. Yeah. It's something that you have to work on all the time.
Have you found that, in your research, that are there certain segments of small business, certain industries that do better when it comes to this in terms of productivity than other sectors?
Well, the productivity is different from one sector to another by the nature of the business. But to be, one of the top in productivity, you have champion in every sector of the economy. So it's more related about how the business is operating. So you have very productive firm in every sector. You have actually firms that are not doing well in every sector. So it's much more related to your own business, and that's quite interesting because it means that every entrepreneur has a full control on their efficiency and productivity. That's something that you can really work on.
Hmm. Anything else you wanted to share, Pierre, from that report that came out?
Maybe one last thing. We also look at the most productive firm in Canada. We compare them with other firms in Canada, and we realize that the one who has the highest level of productivity or the highest level of efficiency, those are two similar words, while they perform better. So, for example, they have 5 times more profit per employees, the one who are champion. Also, the value of their business is higher. So it pays off to really pay attention at your productivity or efficiency.
All right, super. Thanks, Pierre, for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right, that was Pierre Cleroux, who is Vice President of Research and Chief Economist with BDC. I'm Mario Toneguzzi, taking care of business on Canada's podcast network. Thanks for joining us today.